It's Professor MoneyPigTrading. Today is August 4, 2021. Really short video about Biden's electric vehicle EV announcement tomorrow. And let's take a look at Tesla, Ford, and BLNK and some other charging names, technical charts. If you haven't followed us, make sure to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, MoneyPigTrading. Interested in our Discord community, feel free to check out www.moneypigtrading.com. So President Biden actually just tweeted about that he's going to make a big announcement tomorrow about EV. And the market has been speculating about this announcement for weeks or months from the infrastructure plan. So we don't know the details. Personally, I highly doubt he or the Congress can double the EV credits since there's a lot of objection and too much debts on top of that. However, he might define what is the EV, and he actually might provide some benefits or potentially increase a little bit of EV credit instead of doubling, maybe increase at 30%. And we already know that he's going to increase or provide some EV charging station incentives. So potentially it's going to benefit a lot of charging stocks as well. So today Tesla actually in the intraday pushed to the 724 resistance and pulled back down to 710 at closing, partly because some environmentalists, they are actually mentioning that there might be an announcement tomorrow and potentially might be a little bearish announcement from White House to Tesla or any other EV names. So that's why Tesla kind of pulled back today and has been testing the 724 EMA support for 3 days since the last 4-day 8-day EMA cross on the daily chart and try to push up. 724 just pull back directly. So if 724 can push above, the next resistance will be 735. And if that level can hold, 741, 745, 754, 761, and 781 next. And the top, based on our AI model, the TARP targets this week will be around 788 to 795. However, if the EV credits are really doubled, regardless applied to Tesla or not, probably going to see a lot of hypes into those stocks. Potentially we can see Tesla tested above 800. In our previous video, we actually said Tesla actually has a resurrection because the China demand actually coming back for EVs and for Tesla. And that's why last time we made this video, Tesla actually break this daily downtrend, and the link of that video is on the upper right corner. And right now the sideward consolidate, push back, and now trying to push up again. And will be really exciting to see what will bring to Tesla tomorrow. And we actually have some initial Tesla Q3 delivery estimate. And last quarter, announced on July, the Wall Street consensus is around 205 to 208,000 cars delivered. Actually, in Q2, Tesla actually delivered 201,000 cars. It's a little less than the consensus, and that's why Tesla a little pulled back. And originally, our estimate range is around 199 to 205,000. And right now, the Wall Street consensus for 2021 is 840,000. Right now, October, we still don't know the consensus, the actual numbers, since it's still quite early. But right now, based on our estimate early in the quarter again, it's around 230,000 cars delivered. So possibly it's going to be about 15 to 20% better than the last quarter, 201,000 units. If that's the case, that will help Tesla achieve this 838,000 guidance and consensus, and potentially going to boost up Tesla. And if you're looking for EV, you will notice that right now most of the car dealers or automakers, they cannot deliver any cars until like 2022. And Tesla's one of the EV providers that can say, hey, if you want a Model 3, it'll be available in 8 to 14 weeks because of a chip shortage. Still a delay, but way better than most other automakers who will only be able to deliver cars in 2022. So personally, my humble opinion, if there are some benefits, policy facilitation on EVs, we're going to see more upside for Tesla until 2022 when chip shortage start to cool down and more competition coming. Then we can see Tesla's margin perhaps start to shrink. And then we might see some pressure on Tesla's stock price. But probably until the end of this year, if there are so many catalysts on the delivery, bullish delivery estimates, and also the policy changes, potentially we can see more upside for Tesla in the short term. And the other name I really like personally is Ford for the EV plates. just reported earnings, decent earnings, shock everyone that they actually have positive earnings and have decent revenues, even though there's a chip shortage, and there's a lot of production delay based on their previous earning guidance. And their CEOs trying their best to get chips, even though there's a lot of worldwide chip shortage. However, the stock actually pulled back from a decent earning. So it's actually a great discount, fundamentally speaking. Right now, it's holding the 13.3 EMA support. Based on the news, if this really double EV credit, is definitely going to apply to Ford, since Ford hasn't really benefited from the EV credit as much as Tesla. So Ford actually has room to bounce back to 13.84, 14.3, and 14.58 in the next 1 or 2 weeks, should the policy is very bullish tomorrow. The other thing we really like about the EV charging is BLNK, BLNK. It's more like a trading instead of investment. Technically or fundamentally, if you look at the financial numbers, still not very decent. All these charging companies are the same. There's the expanding burning money stage, and it's a very highly competitive field as well. You will see in the next slide there are actually several players in the industry, and I believe the margin will become thinner and thinner. But the government provide more subsidies and incentives, we can see this industry start to boom. Because if you're shopping for EV, then the thing you will notice is the biggest challenge right now, especially if you have an apartment or condo in the United States, is you have no place to charge your EV. So all this charging station is critical infrastructures for EV to become really popular. And right now, BLNK is in the pullback. Since the last year, a huge run on the EV hypes, it pulls back, and right now it's just trading the range between $28 and around $45. Pretty much it's just a really big range bound. Happen the cycle every few months. Right now it's holding 34 EMA support. In the next 2 weeks, should the policy become very bullish, we could see a bounce potentially back to 36.4, 40, and 45, which is still in the range. If we can break the range, the next upside support is 49.13. Other EV charging name should take a look is ChargePoint, which is one of the biggest charging company, and those will provide some smart meter on their apps. So different EV vendors can actually, if you have like apartment building, you can like schedule like what time to charge, which cars should be prioritized to charge, and make sure everyone are separated. Make sure the voltage in the apartment and the amps, the current, can handle all the charging volume overnight. Pretty decent. Right now is a pretty big pullback as well, kind of sideways consolidate around 23. The other name is a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition. We actually have a video about SPAC, and you can take a look on the link on the upper right corner. It's actually going to merge with the biggest EV provider in Europe called EVBox. Right now the stock is almost at $10 per share, which is pretty much the baseline for SPAC. The other name is Volta. If you live in America, you probably see a bunch of Volta charging stations here and there. For many other auto maker except Tesla, it's still a special purpose acquisition SPAC as well. Right now it's traded slightly below $10, so if you like SPAC, it could be a good one to consider. But if you look at their financial numbers, you'll probably see some issue. Like I said, a lot of cash burning stage. So just some EV names you should take a look. So real quick, if you haven't liked this video, make sure to like it. That'll help our channel tremendously. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, MoneyPigTrading. And lastly, we're not a registered financial advisor. This is just for education contents. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys.